Hello everyone. Today we are discussing feasibility analysis on the subject of entrepreneurship. So what is feasibility analysis and when it comes? As you are aware that for the past two lectures we have been building understanding about the concept of entrepreneurship. We have understood introduction to entrepreneurship and then we had a look at generating ideas and opportunities. So what we have discussed that what is an entrepreneur, what are the characteristics of the entrepreneur, what are the reasons that you become an entrepreneur, and what are the common myths about the entrepreneurs. We also understood in the very first lecture about entrepreneurial intensity when it comes to the organization. We understood that you can become an entrepreneur as an individual, as a self-employed person, or you can work for a company as well. So if you're working for an organization, you can still practice your entrepreneurial ability depending on whether the organization is creative enough, they believe in innovation, they believe in changes or not. Then the second thing that we looked at was recognizing opportunity. We understood opportunity is the set of favorable circumstances where you try to find what is needed by the people. And we looked at different broader areas as the area of economy, regulation, we discussed people, innovation, social forces, and so on and so forth. Now we are looking at feasibility study or feasibility analysis. So once you have come up with the mindset that yes, you want to work for yourself and you want to be your own boss, you have generated some kind of idea and you see that there are feasible circumstances or conducive circumstances for those ideas, for the idea or the whatever the idea is about the product or service. If you see that yes, the market is right, you come to feasibility analysis, and feasibility study or the analysis will tell you whether this idea is practical, whether this idea is viable, or whether this idea is possible or not. So we look at whether our idea is pragmatic enough or not, whether it is practical enough or not to be implemented. So not only is it the idea that is important, is the execution intelligence as well that we want to have. So when we are looking at feasibility analysis, the timing of the feasibility analysis is very important. The majority of the entrepreneurs directly jump onto the second stage of marketing instead of understanding whether customers actually require your product or service or not. So they skip the bit of conducting a survey or understanding the market, and they jump straight to what? Marketing. And when you start marketing and you realize that yes, you're not generating enough sales, you're not generating enough revenue, you fall back to the very first point, and that's what you conduct the feasibility study. So when we are looking at the components of the feasibility study, first you want to do the analysis of your product or service, then you want to look at the industry, then you want to look at the organization, then you want to look at the finances that you have. So how do we go about it? When we are looking at the product or service, we want to look at whether they are demanded or desired in the market or not. Your product, if you're going with a product, you have an idea about a product, it must make sense to the people. Should be reasonable enough. It should be compatible with the market or market conditions that are existing. So when we are looking at the product, we understand that yes, our product is good enough, it is demanded by the people, and how can I know about this thing? I can visit the places where our competitors are. I can conduct a survey, either a face-to-face survey, or I can conduct a survey through some kind of Google form, because there are many digital tools available nowadays which make your life easier, that you can go and conduct the survey sitting at one point of the city or the country, and you can cover the areas for the survey. But the best thing is to do, if you see that there's a competitor, for example, you have a burger shop and you're willing to open a burger shop and there's a competitor in the market, you can go and stand outside the burger shop 4 hours a day or maybe 8 hours a day. Just try and collect the data, how many customers are walking in, what is their range of purchase, what are their age groups, what do they like, what menu do they like, what kind of burgers do they like. Once they walk out, you can just do a quick survey. You can talk to them, a little interview, and that will give you an idea whether your product is demanded or desired in the market or not. So that's the very first thing where you want to critically analyze your product or service, and you have to conduct a survey based on its features and all. Industry, you want to look at the industry, what forces are there in the industry, and we are looking at 5 forces model. mainly by the Michael Porter, and those forces are what? New entrants, whether as a new entrant you can enter the market, whether there are competitors in the market that can drive you out, so you want to identify the potential competitors. Then you want to look at what suppliers power, if suppliers are there, if there's a monopoly on the suppliers or not. That's something you want to be very cautious of. Then you want to look at what customers power, buyers power. Are the customers, I mean, they can use any form of sentiment against you, or they can be influenced politically, and they can drive you out of the market. And the last thing is substitutes, whether there is a substitute in the market. I mean, there can be a direct substitute or indirect, something that is already existing right now or something that can become a substitute in the future. So these are the five forces model. But when we are looking at the industry analysis, we want to understand the industry. Is it a new industry, emerging industry, maturing industry, fragmented industry, concentrated industry? If it is an emerging industry like electric vehicles, artificial intelligence, you want to have a proper understanding whether you're bringing a competitive advantage over the competitors or not, whether you're introducing something unique, something inimitable, something that is matchless. So that's the first thing that you want to understand. If it is a mature industry, something that has reached the peak, maybe McDonald's, maybe fast food industry and all, that's not growing as much, maybe Subway and all, they have halted. Fragmented industry like retail shops of clothing, retail stores of there could be a food chain, food outlet chain. Concentrated industry, it could be about Silicon Valley where all the top giants are there. So we want to look at the industry as well. So you want to critically analyze industry with the forces and the type of industry that you're jumping in. Is it dying off industry like video cassettes, print media? That's something you want to look at when you're doing your feasibility study. Organizational feasibility, you want to look at whether the organization have all the right materials: man, method, machine, money, and material. Man represents human resource, method represents procedure, material represents resources, money represents capital, and machine represents the technology. And you want to have land, labor, rent, company, and resources. So you want to look at organizational feasibility, whether you're equipped with all type of resources, with the right strategy, system, structure, skills, staff, style, shared values. Go with the McKinsey model, try to diagnose your organization and see what is missing. So this is another analysis that you want to do before you jump into a practical implementation of your product or service. Financial feasibility, you must have some down payment to start off with before you generate your very first dollar as a profit. You want to look at how much payment you want to make. Or you can compare it with some existing business, how much they needed to start off a business. So that's something very important. And one of the ways is for like. You can look at a competitor for financial analysis. You can do your own analysis, that how long will it take before you get into profit, or how long will it take to create the break even. So that's the second one. But you must understand that when you have done the product and service analysis, you have to come up with something called concept statement. It's a one-page document that will define the product or service, whatever is that, be it an ice cream, be it some kind of energy drink. It will also tell you about the target market. What's the segmentation? Who are we targeting? Are they the athletes? Are they the players? Whatever is that. Benefit of this drink or product, whatever you're introducing, that's very important that you want to incorporate in that concept statement before you go for a business plan and start implementing. Features, what are the features? I mean, does it give you a quick kick? Does it motivate you? Does it hype you up all of a sudden? All these are the features. And the very last one that we have got is management style. And we want to understand what kind of management style do we have: democratic, autocratic, something like this. So once you are done with concept statement, you're fully ready with your analysis to hit the market. So we have done our feasibility analysis here. I'll see you with another lecture, but make sure when you're doing the feasibility analysis, coming up with any product or service idea, it should be aligned with United Nations sustainable goals. There's 17 sustainable goals. Try to align your idea with any of the sustainable goals. So I'll see you with the new lecture in the next video. Please do like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.